Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Brother Brand Ambassador Angela Wolf here with another fabulous show for you today. So how are you? Everyone say hi. You can see so many of you rolled in even before I got here. I was so busy reading your comments. I forgot we're supposed to go live. But we have a super fun show for you today. Kim Montagnese is joining us, and I'll give you a little hint. Like there's just a little hint of something she's going to be doing. Doesn't totally clashes. Kim will have to help me out with the wardrobe. So say hi, say where you're from. We always love to see that. Let's bring Kim to the party. How are you, Kim?
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good morning. Good morning. Everybody's already rolling in. So we are live streaming, by the way, on Brother Sewing YouTube and Facebook channels. We can see all your comments. So be sure to say hi, ask your questions as you go. And Kim, I'm very excited for this project. I guess one big word to sum it up is...
Oh, it's my word. Back to school or fall or embellishment. Of course, I love embellishment so much. So I don't know, some of my projects you can cross over to, different things going on. So hopefully this will be helpful for somebody that needs a quick little gift or something special for a kid or a teacher. So that's more than one word. I was supposed to have one word. Fun.
Fun. That sounds good. So your projects are always inspirational. I cannot wait to see what you have in store for us today.
Thanks. So what I was going to do today, aside from the showing an example of the couching on the XP, are these little journals. So for kids going back to school, anybody that's journaling or, the old-fashioned word would be diaries. I've been making these little booklets. This is just leftover fabric. This particular design, these two frames, this outside frame and the inside frame, came from the ScanNCut. So I used the My Connection function and I sent those two shapes and the word art from the ScanNCut over to the machine. And I know that you've done this before. I think didn't Jennifer did that, right? She did a whole thing on that. So
that's cute.
Once it was over there, I used one of the new fills to put in behind there, made it smaller, and then put in a fill. I don't know if you can really see up close. There's a fill behind that outside one too.
Oh, yeah. Now you can see it. Wow. I love the colors you chose too.
Aren't they fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite colors. And then for teachers, I did this one. And that frame is actually built into the XP as well as the little embroidery design. And then those are the new fonts. It says, "Here we go again." It's for teachers. Another year, brand new start. And then it's just plain paper on the inside. On the inside cover, sometimes when I make these for somebody special, I'll embroider on here too. So you can do this almost like a quilt label, or you can do your handwriting and scan it and then stitch it out, or whatever you want to put on the inside. So
what that book, I have that book, but I use it for sketching. So all the little fashion designers out there, this would be a great way to cover up for fashion design too.
Exactly. And they're real cheap. I mean, you get them at the craft store. You can embroider all of your little dress forms or pattern pieces or whatever you want on the front of them. I love these things. I buy them by the case. And I'll show you about that little thing later. So this is how they start out. Let me get out of the way so maybe you can see the rings. There, the rings. This is just how they come. And they're just plain black books. Nothing to them really. So I just take my fabric. I get 2 pieces of fabric and cut them just a little bit bigger than the cover. I think I've got about 2 inches there. Now this one I folded because I wanted these fold lines. I'll show you why in a second. And I've also put on some fusible stuff on here because we're actually going to iron this on. I've done decoupage in the past, and that works out really well. But I really like this because it's nice and clean and it's fabricy. So this one I've actually kind of scored it a little bit. So I'm going to take this piece of fabric, just lay it down here. And then this little page of leaves, I'm going to show you how to do this in Design Center in a little bit. But I did these leaves actually on the 10 needle, and I went over them twice using different colors of thread, so you can kind of see little highlights of color. But this is a built-in shape in the 10 needle. And then I just did my own sort of free motion, just sketching all of the lines of the leaves using the drawing tool. That's what I'm going to show you in a minute. And then I'm going to put my fusible on top of that. And just press it on there. You don't even have to get all the stabilizer out. I'll show you the stabilizer too when we go over to the machine. Okay, and while that's cooling, let's see if I can peel it off yet. Yeah, there we go. So these are just craft felt. I just bought these at the craft store. They're just the more floppy felt. It works great though on the more stiff felt. So any of these will really work well. I would imagine vinyl will work great too. So I'm just going to peel that off.
Everyone's asking, is that paper? What is that you have there?
That I peeled off?
Yeah, they're asking what that was paper.
Oh, that's the back sheet of the fusible stuff.
The flower stuff, the first one that you wrapped around, what is that right on that? Yeah.
This is fabric.
Fabric. There you go, guys. It's fabric. I can see
it's
everybody.
Fabric. Sorry.
Fabric that sounds like paper.
Well, it has the fusible on the back.
There you go. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah. So I'm just going to cut around one of these. And if I were taking these shapes directly out of ScanNCut, I could also cut them out on ScanNCut. But when I brought this in, I actually duplicated it, reversed a couple, and I'm not cutting it out super close. I'm just kind of messy cutting it. So now I have my leaf. And when I place this on the front of the book, I want to put this pretty close to where those little spirals are. I don't want it up over the spirals. I want it pulled back just a little bit from the spirals. And then when this is folded, I'm going to want to put my designs further out to this side, away from the spiral, because the spirals are going to have that fluffy on it. So you want to kind of center things over here on this edge. So I'm going to put one of my leaves on there, flip it to the other side, and just press that on through the back. And there it is fused on.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
So it kind of looks like it's sewn on, like both of these. It looks like you sewed right through everything.
It does. I actually was looking at that thinking, number one, it looks like cork. I agree with you, Arnell. And number two, it looks like it's sewn on. I could not figure out how you were going to put this together.
Yeah, so you just fuse it on there. The next thing, I'm going to take this over here. I'm just going to center it on the front. Maybe I should take the paper off first. There we go. I'm just going to lay this on the front and press it and melt all that glue on there.
Hey, Kim, what temperature are you using on that iron?
I'm just doing it super high, like linen,
Okay.
like cotton, whatever's your highest setting. Then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to pull the edges back toward the center. And there's a couple of ways that I've done the corners, but this is the way I've been doing it lately. It's just when you get to the corners, I just take this and lay it kind of flat. And press that down first. And then fold it over, and it gives it a little kind of a mitered look on the corner here.
Oh, nice.
So you can just go around and do all the sides. Okay, so now it's kind of messy in the middle. Kind of messy here. So this is where you can take your next piece of fabric that has your fusible on it. Lay that in the middle.
I was wondering, I was like, how is she going to make those corners look where they look perfect? I knew you had the solution.
Well, they don't look perfect, but if you use a highly patterned fabric, nobody will notice.
There you go.
If you have a solid, probably maybe they wouldn't look as great.
Love it.
So there's our inside cover. And again, any artwork you can do, you know, a personal note in there if it's going to be a gift, or maybe your agenda, you'd want to write your agenda on here and place something in there. That would be probably, you know, a good place to do that. So then for the back cover, we'll just continue that with the back. And this fabric has a direction to it. You can kind of see these little lines. So make sure if you're using a directional that you do it the same on both the front and the back.
Kind of like we do on garments, huh?
Kind of like that, yeah. Yeah, the first one was
say, Kim,
almost,
nobody can see your front the same as the back at the same time, right?
that's right. And thankfully, you can't see the inside of this either. So that's always pretty cool.
Somebody's asking, are you using it looks like you're using a wool pressing mat?
I am, yes.
Yes. And no, you don't have to put anything underneath of that. Not usually. Somebody said they're worried that it would steam through down below.
Oh, no, because I'm using, it's not even warm under here.
Yeah.
Because what's on my table, this is actually my pool table, and I have that big piece of pink foam, like that insulation foam. So that's why I have the pressing mat, but no, it's not even warm underneath.
Yeah, those are great. Great.
I'm pressing it through, I'm pressing it through this cardboard too at the same time. Flip it over.
Oh, yeah. Amanda, good idea. Everybody's saying, can you use any fabric for this? Yeah, you could use any kind of fabric I mean, somebody was asking about cork or faux leather. That would be, or vinyl. Any of that would look great, don't you think, Kim?
It would be beautiful. And
Yeah.
if you can't wrap it, you can always put it on the front.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because you can't wrap it around something. But absolutely. I mean, I've done this in many different modifications for different purposes. And decoupaging is fun. The sewing is fun. The embroidery is fun.
All of the above.
All of the above. Photo transfers are fun. We did a class with photo transfers on fabric and then decoupage them on. Okay, so there's our inside back cover. There's our front cover.
Wow.
And of course, I would put more of these leaves on, you know, just kind of scatter them around. I probably will put some bedazzling, you know, other things around it. But then to finish it, I have all these little strips of fabric. Where's the camera?
When you, hey Kim, when you pull those out to the side, I'm waiting for like a bird to fly out, like a magic trick. Here you go. Here's one, and then here goes the other.
Next time.
Here comes the rabbit.
Yeah, little rabbit. So now I'm just going to take one of these, and I just start at the top and just tie it on. And I do it kind of randomly. If you have a lot of these, then you can tie more. If you don't have as many, you don't have to tie as many, of course. But I just start randomly tying them. And you can also use, remember all of those great fluffy yarns that we had with the eyelash, like the eyelash yarns and things like that. You can tie those in between. I've used yarn with beads attached to the ends of them, those great big chunky sparkly beads, and just kind of have those floating around inside of them, or feathers. So there's just a lot of different things you can do with this.
Just think of all the scraps of fabric we could use.
Yeah, absolutely. And even like this one, I'm thinking I'm going to put two of these, like put them back to back so you can't see the back, and just fuse them onto some of these little ribbons, you know, so they'll look like they're just coming out of that.
Yeah.
Kind of look like that. But if I can sandwich these little things in between.
Anne was asking about, I would guess those strips, they're longer than 2 inches, maybe 4, 5.
They're about 1.5 inches wide.
Oh, I meant long. I'm thinking long. You're.
It doesn't matter. It's up to you. If you want to have them like really long, cascading off, that would be beautiful too.
Oh,
but mine are, I've done them with like real skinny strips. I just pretty much use whatever I've got on hand. These I happen to have had from a log cabin project I was doing. So that's what I'm using. But they're about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And what would you say, maybe 8 inches long for these?
Yeah, they look 5, 6, 7, 8 inches long. I guess it wouldn't matter. The same thing. Once you tie it on, if you wanted it shorter, trim them shorter. But even if you just had short ones, it would still be cute.
It would still be cute. And when you're using the smaller one, then you might want to use a smaller strip.
Oh my gosh. I'm thinking tulle fabric, sparkly tulle for the holidays. This could be a great gift. Oh my gosh.
You could do embroidered snowflakes on here. You could do happy birthday, have it as a guest. I actually did one as a wedding book for, she ended up being a customer. I don't have a business, but she contacted me through somebody and knew that I did it. And she wanted sunflowers. And then we put the couple's name on it. And we did all of this in all the different golds and yellows and different browns. And it was their guest book.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
And everybody was going to write like helpful tips for a happy married life or something like that inside of it. So, but the nice thing is you can see here, These are shorter because
Mhm.
I didn't want it interfering here. Otherwise, it was all hanging over. So you can always just give it a haircut. You know, just trim them off so that they're not covering up your message here. And when you're done, you just give it a shake.
Oh my gosh, so cute. Everybody's like, I love this.
So, Angela, I don't know. Well, let me just start. I'm going to go over to the machine. So I just want to show you in my hoop, I'm using the medium weight tearaway. I don't have, of course, you know, my favorite is the wash away, but this can stay in because it's, you know, it's not going to show. And it gives it a little stability too. So I'll show you my hoop, but this is how they look when they come out. So you can see it almost looks like thread painting.
It does. Look at that.
Or like freehand. So for those, go ahead.
Is your stabilizer medium weight tearaway? Is it sticky back or not sticky back?
It's adhesive, medium weight, adhesive tearaway.
Okay, great.
This one.
That one. You got it, guys?
Yep.
Call your local brother dealer for that one.
Yep. So I'm going to go over to the XP.
Okay.
And if you want to see it on the 10 needle, I can do it over there too. But right now I have it set up on the XP.
That sounds perfect. All right. So while you go to your machine, I will come back and take your questions if you have any, if I can answer them. I know everybody's, Kim, they love your projects because there's always such good inspiration. I totally agree, you guys. So
Oops.
she's got more too. And I did get a preview of some of her couching, which I told you I gave you a little hint about this. Mm-hmm. All right, so she'll be back in just a second. We're doing this so you don't get seasick. Very cute.
Oops.
Oh, I lost Kim.
Here. I'm
Oh,
here.
you're back. Okay, you just say when. So by the way, if any of you missed earlier this week, we had another great tutorial on embroidering backpacks. You might want to go back and watch that one as well. So if you're on Facebook, be sure to like and share. If you want to see this episode again, share it to your page. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. There's your little brother ad right in the middle while Kim's getting to her machine. Feel like an infomercial? I get so many ideas from her too. Every ambassador and every educator that comes on here, no matter how, if you're experienced or beginner, you just kind of look and go, oh my gosh. And then out of one thing can come 20 ideas. I love it. All right. She's going to the Luminaire XP. Are you on the XP 1, 2, or 3?
I'm on the one that has all 3 upgrades.
All 3 upgrades. So by the way, if you have the XP1, you can get all of the upgrades, which pretty much makes yours very close to an XP3, except it doesn't have the same lipstick on the top.
Can you see it, Angela?
Yeah, you'll be able to see the beginning, Michelle. When she's finished, you can stop and rewind it. Yep, I can see you great. There you are.
Okay, perfect. I couldn't, for some reason, I wasn't able to switch the camera around without going out. Oh, wait, settings, maybe. Settings, front camera, back camera. There we go.
Someone said, are you really live? What do you think?
What do you think? Yeah, really? If we could record this.
That's funny.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
good
that's
now.
good.
Okay. Okay, so that's not bad, right?
That's perfect.
Okay. So like Jen did the other day with my connection, she was at the ScanNCut and she went to my connection. She went to send a pattern, and then I went to the leaf pattern and I sent it over to my machine. And when I got to my machine, I'm going to hit the shapes icon. I'm going to come up here and touch the ScanNCut. And here's my leaf that I sent over from the ScanNCut. I'm going to say, okay, there it is. And now I'm going to touch 200% because I like a little bit more. I need to see it a little bit more. And then I'm going to take my little stylus here. I'm going to scooch it up closer so you can see better. Okay, if you got the XP3, you're going to get the new stylist. I'm using this one today because I don't have that yet. But this works great. So I'm going to come up here and touch my line properties. I'm going to leave it here with the regular line. I'm going to touch the triple stitch. And I think I'll leave it on black right now because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to touch OK. So now, reaching over the camera, I hope I don't bump it for you. I'm just going to take my stylus and start to draw the leaves. And you see here, I don't really care if I go off a little bit. I want it to look like I'm actually doing free motion. If you're super, super careful, you can do this more slowly. I kind of like that sloppy look. And then to even accent it more, I'm going to go around the edges a little bit more to make it a little bit more sloppy. You know how in the fall, the leaves are kind of broken and kind of beat up a little bit. So I'm just going to leave that. I think I'm happy with it. I'm going to say next. So now this is what we're talking about right here. I'm okay with all of that. So I'm just going to scoot right past that. But this zigzag, I'm going to include all of the zigzags. So I clicked on the link and I'm going to change all of that also to the triple stitch and say, okay. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm going to set that. And then I have my hoop all ready to go. So I'm going to put my hoop on. This is the big magnetic hoop. I want to make sure that I pass this through the corner so it doesn't bump the foot, and slide it right on there. I'm going to scan the hoop. I'm going to tell it it's okay to scan it. And of course on this part, I only have one leaf. I'm going to try to duplicate it for you and flip it, so they look different. But remember that you can do anything you want. You can do text on this part. You can add anything else that you want. You can do a regular embroidery design out of the menu or something that you bring in. Whatever you want to do on this is perfectly fine. I just thought this was fun because it's kind of a hand-drawn thing. So that's what that's going to look like. So I'm going to close that. Let's see, is there anything? So if I wanted to make more of these, I would hit duplicate, bring one down here, bring the next one down here. I could duplicate another one. I could bring it up here. I could reverse it, rotate it twice, make sure it fits better. Kind of scooch it right down in there. So now I have 3 of them. I can say okay. I can go to embroidery. And then just to be sure that I'm on where I want to be, I'm going to use the projection. And there's our leaf. And by moving the red box on the screen, I can see that, yes, I am completely on there. I'm completely on this side. Okay, I'm happy with that. I was curious about this edge. Yep, I'm even on there pretty good. Maybe just move that one over a little, move it a little bit. Okay, so I don't know if you want to watch this stitch out the whole time, but
Oh, we got to see it start. I can't wait. What hoop
okay.
are you using?
I'm using the big 10-inch magnetic.
10 by 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that looks good. Everybody, feel free to ask your questions. I'll throw them over to Kim when you ask if if I see it come through.
So this is going to take 25 minutes. That should just about wrap it up, right? So the reason I do it on the stabilizer first, my first thought was that maybe I should put the fusible on the back first, but then the fusible will get stuck to the stabilizer and then I'd have to put more fusible on. So for any of you that were thinking the same way, that's why I'm doing it this way.
You know, I wouldn't have even thought about that until I went to do it, and I would have thought, wait a minute.
Yeah, I make the mistakes for you. I was teaching a class one time and I was saying something dumb that I did. And I said, be sure that, whatever the dumb thing that I did. And one of the ladies said, do you think we're that stupid? And I said, well, no, I don't think you are, but I'm telling you because I did it 3 times and it didn't work any of those times. So.
All right, so here's a good question for you. And this, Michelle, she's using sticky, it's adhesive stabilizer. So she said, your fabric doesn't look like it's under the hoop. It's not, it's right there. So you actually hoop the stabilizer first, and then you pull back the paper and then lay your fabric on, which I love sticky. I love that adhesive stabilizer for so many projects, because if I have small pieces of fabric, I can just move it around.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I don't know. I'm with you though. I'm tied. My 2 favorite stabilizers. Well, I love the adhesive wash away or tear away, but I love the wash away for fabrics like lace and stuff like that.
Like shears. I know there's nothing like shears. In fact, I was going to show you something on a garment. I haven't done it, but it's just a suggestion of what you can do with these leaves on fabric and then put them on a garment. But then you would have to use the sticky wash away.
You know, I'll bet you gave everyone an idea when you just said that. Leave a comment below because I would love to see this. I never even thought about that, but that leaf or any other pattern in there going on fabric like this, you're basically designing your own fabric. That would look great on a garment.
Yep. Picture it going down the leg of a pant leg or on a sleeve, or like coming from the front yoke over the shoulder and cascading down the back. And, there's just so many ways you can use this. And personally, before I understood what these machines would do, I didn't understand about machine embroidery. I thought you pushed the button and it just ran, and I didn't think there was anything creative about it because I was doing thread painting and mixed media and stuff like that. But once I realized what these machines do, I was talking to my one friend who is an educator still, and like she's my inspiration. I'll just tell you, it's Barbara Jones.
I love Barbara.
And I would always quiz her. Like I was working for a different show, and I would always like corner her at some point during a show. And it's like, okay, so you're telling me that these machines, you can do your own drawings and you can do, and she's, yeah. That it's like, okay, now I get it. I totally get it now because I can do this that I'm doing here today. And I still have my original art, but the machine's doing it for me and it's consistent and I can save it and do it again. So what needle are you using for felt? I'm just using the regular embroidery needle.
There you go, Wanda. Just
whatever. Yeah, just whatever was in the machine, the regular embroidery. I think if obviously if you were going to use denim or vinyl or something, you'd want to change that up a little bit. But this is just craft felt from, it's just cheap craft felt.
Did you change the speed on the machine at all for embroidery?
I did not, no. Do you want me to look and see what it is? I can check. I'm pretty sure it's just the default speed because I'm using regular Brother embroidery thread. I'm using a regular needle. the fabric is very porous and, it stitches easily. So no, I didn't make any allowances for it.
And 7511. So do you usually use a size 11 or 12 when you're embroidering?
Let me just take a look here.
I use both. I mean, it depends what's laying around. So, Anne, I would have to say I use both. I would use both on this.
All right. Let me pull it out here. I have the 11 in there now.
The 11. Good guess, Anne.
Yeah.
And
here.
What do you call a regular embroidery needle? There you go. An 11, Cindy. I know, I do too, Arnell.
Arnell, when I started embroidering, I thought, I'm going to save so much time now that I don't have to be sitting there doing it myself, And when I first got the embroidery, I still do it. That's a lie. I still do this. It's been almost 10 years. I sit there and watch it. And I even bought the 10 needle because I thought now I'm going to really save some time because I don't have to sit there and wait for the thread change. And I still stand there and watch it.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just too much fun. So anyway, how are we on questions? Do you want me to stop?
Do you want to come back and show us? You can let it keep going if you want and then come back to us on camera to show us some of those other things or whatever you want. We're good with whatever your plan is.
All right, let me just quickly show you those two jackets. And then
so I asked, are you going to cut these leaves out with the ScanNCut?
I could have, but no, I didn't. But I could have. I still could put these on the mat, scan them, plate. I think I resized them a little bit, so I'd have to resize them and then just lay the image over the ones that are finished, because you can scan the mat and see it. I could do that. I probably won't, though, because I'm cutting kind of around, kind of messy cutting around them.
Yeah.
But if I wanted them to be perfect, I certainly could. So
super cool.
Okay, so do you want to take me out and I'll go back?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. She doesn't want you to get seasick. Kim and I always laugh that we're on together. It depends who's higher and lower, and we can adjust our chairs or the way we're standing so we don't cut our heads off. All right, while she's going back to her table, do you have any questions? I never leave my machine, Anne says. Something happened. Well, it's funny. When after you've been sewing for a long time or serging or embroidering, you can hear a noise. Like the other day, somebody was using one of my machines and I heard this noise. I was like, whoa, something's wrong. You could just tell by the sound. No, come back. There you are.
I'm back.
All right.
Oh, I didn't take myself off settings, but you can see me without the window on there?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. So the other thing to remember is along with all this fun crafty stuff that we can do, you can also just do really cool stuff that's already in your machine. So this is a jacket. I talked about this a while ago, but I couldn't find it. I did find it. So this is a jacket that combines the couching that's built into the machine, and then I use the projector to project the grates down, and that's a built-in design as well. And I just had to rotate it and get it in the exact right position so that I could put this on the back of this cute jacket. And this was just a jacket that I got, at the secondhand store. I kind of love the lining to it. It's got that, it's got that olive green lining. So that was
beautiful.
And then get ready. This is so cool. In our upgrade now, if you have the XP3 or the upgrade, you just saw an example of one of the couching designs that's already in there that you can combine with embroidery. But this is the couching that's also now built in, and there's uppercase, lowercase, and special characters as well. And then the other fonts there, that's one of the new fonts. That's in the XP3.
Beautiful.
And then I just used manufactured lace that I bought And of course, my ongoing button problem to embellish the rest of the jacket. And the stand-up collar, that's a Barb Jones inspiration. She always had these awesome jackets with her standing up collars.
Beautiful.
So that kind of helps with, or that just really shows off the couching, I think. I love doing the couching. So this was a jacket I found. This is an unfinished jacket. I mean, it's just I thought the color was pretty, and it's kind of a brocade fabric.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it pretty? It was $7, and I don't know if you can see the texture of it.
Yeah.
It kind of has like a leafy, embossed design on it. So I bought this one. It's a size large. I thought maybe I'll be able to wear this at some point somewhere. And I found this sheer fabric when I went felt shopping. So what I would do with this is just take this, put it on my sticky wash away stabilizer, and embroider those leaves on it. And then while the sticky stabilizer was still on it to hold it in place, I would take it out of the hoop, cut around whatever I needed to cut around, and then attach it to the jacket, either over the shoulder, down the sleeve, around the lower edge, around here. And then even depending on the weather you're going to wear it, or what point, maybe around the cuff, you could then also pull away the jacket behind that too. Just cut that away and do a decorative stitch over the edges.
That would be gorgeous. I love that color. That would be a good color on you.
I love this color. The lady said, "Oh, how pretty. What are you making?" I have no idea.
That's what they always say at a certain fabric store that we go to. What are you making? I'm like, with my whole stack of fabric. Where do you want me to start?
Or they say, "How much of this do you need?" It's like, I don't need any of this. Just how much do you want me to cut is the question.
What I really want. That should be the quote of the week. How much do you need? I really don't
need any of this.
Everyone's saying super, super great projects. I saw just a couple questions for you. Someone asked, let me see if I can find that here for you. She just asked, why are you not using a topper with that embroidery? Or do you have to use a topper with that embroidery that you're doing?
On the felt?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need it.
Yeah, I'm not. Unless you want something to make the stitches stick higher or something, but I can't think of any reason it's not going to get caught or anything.
Yeah, it's not fluffy. It's pretty flat. When you feel it, it's very flat.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was doing something that was real fine lines, but you can see I chose the triple stitch. So that goes over it a couple times. Maybe if I was doing something that was more fine and lacy, but even on here.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't see that a topper would have made any difference. And truthfully, I didn't even think about using a topper. That's a good question, though. Depending on your felt. If you were using a felted wool that was fluffier, like for garments, maybe that would probably be the way to go, because that's more textury on top.
Well, it looks good, whatever you're doing. And someone else asked, how hard is it to, or how long will the bobbin last? Will it last for that entire project? Or how hard is it to change the bobbin? That's a good one.
Oh, let me show. Do you want me to go back and show you?
Sure.
It ain't nothing. I'll show you.
There you go. All right. So while Kim's going back to the machine to show you, and by the way, I saw some of you asking about couching too. So there are some videos on couching. Yes, you can change a bobbin while you're couching, and no, your foot will not get caught in the yarn. There's a special foot for embroidery with couching from Brother. So it's a special foot. I might have it right here. I can show you. While Kim gets rolling, I'll bring my foot over here and show it to you. Unless Kim has it right there by her machine.
I'll check.
I just used mine the other day. And then I've got this. Yes, Wynn's going to be really excited. He doesn't know about it yet, but he will. His birthday's next week. That's not what he's getting for his birthday, but that's what I'm going to wrap it in. All right, she's back. Okay, we can see the machine great.
Okay, so there we go. Maybe we should just do an entire show on couching.
That would be awesome.
I think we did one a while ago, if I remember correctly, setting it up.
Never get old though.
Well, yeah, not everybody sees everything. So anyway, if I got my little message, it's like ding, 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 and a little sad face, that your bobbin is empty. So I'm just going to remove the hoop. And right here is our bobbin case. I just push that, remove the bobbin, put in the new one, wrap it around the hook, put the little door back on. And then we're ready to go. And the only thing I do then is come back here. Let's see, I can zoom in on it a little bit. I come back here then and go to the plus and minus. And I'll back it up maybe 10 stitches. Just in case it, ran out, or maybe there was a loop on the back or something like that. This will just repeat those last 10 stitches and then keep going. And I don't know that that's necessary. It's just something I've always done. But that's all there is to it. Now I'm ready to go again.
That's as easy as it is. I think I'm really glad you showed that, because every once in a while, well, even when I was doing the coaching and halfway through my tell, I ran out of the bobbin thread. And that was the same thing. Very easy to do.
Yeah. And I have, it's my theory of bobbinage is that there will always be 2 inches more to sew than there is bobbin in your, or thread in your bobbin. So always. It's like Murphy's Law,
Yeah. Okay. So here, I'll bring this up real quick. You want to come back to us?
Well, let's see.
All right. While she's coming back, this is the foot. I don't know if it'll focus. It might. So this is the foot, the embroidery foot for couching. So there's a couple other attachments too. It comes down the side, the yarn comes through here, and I can't remember. Does it go through the hole? I just did this. I can't even remember.
Angela, let me show you something on the machine. This is really awesome. So I've gone back to the machine now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back home, get rid of all this. Right up here.
Oh, here. Hold on one sec. Let me take off the banner. Do that again. Go ahead.
Okay. I went back home. I'm coming up here across the top to the video icon. I'm going to videos, and I think it's in embroidery 2. No, embroidery 1. Here it is at the very bottom. Oops. At the very bottom, there's an excellent video that shows you exactly how to set up that foot. And I think we forget about this a lot. We forget that we have all of these wonderful resources. We actually use this at the dealers convention because they forgot about it too. It's like, I forgot we had that.
You know what, Kim? That's a good reminder for all of you that have the Luminaire 1 and 2 to make, well, even the 3, but especially the 1, make sure you do your updates. Updates are free. And if you're hooked to Wi-Fi, it will tell you, hey, you got an update to do. I actually just had 2 I had to do. I didn't realize I hadn't used the machine in a little while. And one of them was bringing many more of these videos onto your machine. That's something to keep in mind. I'm glad you brought that up.
And it's a great resource. And, I've talked to customers who they have the Luminaire and they've had it for a while and they said, oh, I didn't even know I had that. So So especially for setting up the couching, this is so instructive to show you how to put the foot on. And I don't know if we're going to watch it long enough, but see how it's showing you?
This part is probably the best part of the whole video. I'm like pointing around that right there where it shows you, yep, how to move your foot to make sure your needle's in the right position. And then it always captures the yarn perfectly.
Yep. So to me, this was very valuable. And if you don't know you have it, you know, you're going to struggle with it. It's going to say, oh, it didn't work, but it does. If you see how it's getting into the correct position right there.
Yeah.
Right there. That's all there.
Can't miss it. Blink, blink.
And then she goes through, you know, threading the yarn and doing the yarn guides and everything else. But and actually stitching it out and then how to tie it off on the back. So yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, there's the, you know what I found with the towels, I didn't have to pull the yarn to the backside. They were so, the letters are so filled together so well. And I used a yarn that doesn't fray. I just trimmed it, brushed it a little bit, and it was perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. They're great letters too. I just love them, especially because we got uppercase and lowercase and special characters.
Yeah. Totally.
So anyway, that's the video. I love her yarn too. That's such a pretty color.
Oh, you want to see Wynn's? Okay, so this was Wynn's couching while she's showing the video.
Oh.
Yep. So that will be his hot tub towel. I haven't bought his birthday present yet. I'm working on it. I always, you know, when you've been together for so long, it's like, what does he really? Well, he doesn't really need anything. So what does he really want? I don't know. Let's go with that. Any ideas would be greatly appreciated. I'm sure Brother's going to be like, what happened during that show? Yeah, this is a great video. And I would love to know, all of you that have a Luminaire, do you ever use those videos? Do you forget about them? Lori, yes, you can watch this video again. As soon as we're not live, you can go back and watch it you're on Facebook, share it to your page. That's the easiest way to find it, or come back here to Brother's page and then you'll see it. Babinage, Michelle says. Funny.
Well, I found that to be true ever since I started sewing. It's like I sewed a double wedding ring quilt and I was attaching the little pieces for an hour and a half. Never occurred to me that a bobbin should never last an hour and a half, you know. And the pieces were just flying off the back of the table onto the floor. So,
oh, geez. I love that. What machine is she using? Deb, she's using the Luminaire XP1 with all of the upgrades. Oh, thanks. Miss Marine says she uses all these videos. Excellent.
Excellent. And your playbook, and your playbook too is real helpful if you have the playbook. That's
super helpful. Do you want to come back to us before we close out?
Yeah, I can do that.
She's coming back.
I'm coming back.
There you are. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was a lot of fun. Okay, I think you're almost there. If you have any last minute questions for Kim, bring it on. Here she is. Hey. This was a really fun. You always have such fun, inspirational things, especially for refashioning. To buy that jacket, and then everyone says they can't wait to see what you do. They want a lesson on that sheer fabric, how you're going to do that.
Okay. Well, we can plan something maybe in the future to do couching and the jackets. But I think this video is going to help everybody with, you know, with the couching. That's pretty good. It's pretty good tutorial.
Absolutely love it. Somebody said they have their machine set up for automatic updates. Good job. That's what you should have. Yes, and the playbook is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody say forgot. I know. I forget too. Everybody does. Okay, did I see one more question roll in here? Oh, yes. The playbook, Vicky, is a book that the educators put together. I think, that you guys all put it together, didn't you? It has a ton of projects, even a little video card where you can watch videos.
Let me show you.
There you go.
Keep mine right by the machine, so it's handy. So this is the playbook. And on the inside cover, there's a little card, looks like a credit card, but this is a USB. So this goes right into your machine, and there's videos. And it's set up, the front part of the book is all about the sewing, like the whole sewing section. The middle of the book is all about the embroidery, and the back part is all about Design Center. So I'm trying to figure out where's the camera?
You're good.
I want to show you the beginning of this, though. It's like too far away. Where is it? Anyway, it starts with, let me find another page here. So you see that number, decorative alphabet patterns. Step number 53, press rotate, and it shows you, oh, there we go, what the button looks like. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise, and it shows you what the button looks like. Use the right arrow. That's what the button looks like. So it's step by step, button by button. And then in the upper corner, if it has this little icon at the top of the page, that means there's a video on this on that little card that was in the front of the book. So here's some more stuff, in the back. This is, there's stuff in here on how to use the Move It foot. Here's some Design Center stuff. But here's the first page of this one. Touch My Design Center from the home page.
Yeah.
And here, turn it this way. Touch My Design Center from the home page. That's what the button looks like.
Yeah, it gives you step by step by step.
Button by button, step by step. They don't just say touch stamps and you say, well, what's that? It's
right.
That's what it looks like. So it's invaluable, and a lot of times you can get it with your package when you buy the machine. If you already have your machine, go to your dealer and ask them for it, because it's wonderful. Yeah. And I always say, you don't have to actually do the project, just do the lesson, and you'll start to see a rhythm in how you push the buttons and push OK and touch this and touch that. And even though I know a lot about the machine, sometimes I'll just do a lesson and I think, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could also do that, because you can do things, several different ways and get the same effect. But
absolutely. And you can get it from, let me bring this link up. I think this is it. Yeah. Call your brother dealer or go visit your brother dealer. That's where you get that book.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Excellent. All right. Hey,
and there will eventually be one for the 3 as well. So.
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful hour with us, because we had a lot of fun, and you're always so inspirational. So don't forget, look above, use hashtags Brother Sews and Brother ScanNCut, especially if you make this project and combine both the machine and the ScanNCut. They're going to love to see this. And I love to see your inspiration as well. So you gave me some fun ideas, though, for the holidays, especially for my little nieces who love to sketch fashion. My one niece, she is a fashionista. And so I think I'm going to have to come up with one of these books. I've got some fabulous pink fabric here that she loves. Great idea. And quick and easy.
Yep. You can do a bunch. I just did this one just in the time we were talking. It's pretty quick. Awesome. And you can get those books at the craft store. They're usually toward the commercial art products for the oil paints and things like that. It's not going to usually be in the kids section, but kind of in the back. So
awesome. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Well, Kim, I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and thank you for such great inspiration. And all of you brothers sewing and crafting friends and family, I will see you next Tuesday at noon with May. Bye.
Thanks, Angela. Bye.